Welcome back to Just Getting Started. I'm your host, Evan. So last video we finished off with this Torii Gate, and I said that you guys had completed your first official model, and you have. Look at this gorgeous Torii Gate you all made. It's fabulous, it's wonderful. It is a little bland though, so even though this is finished, we're going to take some time to give it some tender love and care, some good TLC, and bring this just a little bit higher in the professionalism and in the aesthetic beauty. So we're going to focus up here on the top. These bottom posts and lintel are practically done, so we don't have to worry much about those. So we're going to take it from this top over here. So first, let's come up here and focus on this column. Right click on your mouse, go to edge, double click the top of the column, press F so you're centered in, and then scroll out with your middle mouse wheel. Apologies for the yawn. My jaw's kind of hurting today, so I'll do my best to get through this. Alright, so we want to make it so that this post and this post have a nice groove in here for these top two beams to sit, because right now it's clipping and we don't want that. So we're going to go to the top, hit Mesh Tools, insert Edge Loop, click on any of these vertical lines and drag it to about there, so that it fits just below the bottom. In fact, that's a little high. I want to just have a minor gap there, just ever so slightly. Alright, now let's go into edge, and we're actually going to shorten this beam a little. Oop, Control Z. When you use the insert edge loop, make sure that when you go to select something else, you hit the Q button or come up here to the left and hit the select tool, because if you don't, you'll put in another edge loop like I did earlier. So double click that edge, double click this edge. We're going to hit R for scale, or this left icon over here, and we're going to scale it in just a little so that it fits within these four facing grooves right here. Get this nice little groove, and I just want to bring it in just a little more so that we miss the top here. Yeah, about like that. So we've got this nice kind of triangle spacing, because in real life not everything is perfect, so we're going to have that space there. Go ahead and hit face, and we're going to actually come here and we're going to hit right click and hold and go to vertex face. Now what this does is this separates all the faces from each other, so you can see the breaks and the gaps between each face and each line. And we're going to remove this top piece. We don't want these pieces here, so we're going to remove that. Right there. So let's select those two, hit F, and zoom in a little. There we go. Select all these, and I'm inside of this beam right here, just inside of there, as my camera sits, so I can see the angle. And take those, and I'm also going to snag the ones over here. So hit F, come around, make sure I'm inside. Kind of like a drone almost, zooming around the viewport. Alright, well, once you have all of them selected, you can hit 4 just to check. Yep, looks good. Then hit delete. Alright, and what that will do, hit 5 again, right click vertex face, is we deleted those top faces, so they're no longer a problem. We're also going to delete these 4 faces on either side of these columns, and then on opposing columns, because we don't need them either. Once again, oh, ignore that far side. We haven't put in an edge loop yet, so we'll just delete these 4. Since we're over here, let's grab this edge loop again on the left hand side for repeat action. Put in an edge loop, go to face, put yourself into the inside. Make sure you hit Q so you can select again. I do that a lot. It happens all the time. I don't know of a single artist who remembers to do that. It's always so confusing. Alright, perfect. Alright, cool. I was just testing out something here. So we're going to hit 4 on our keyboard. We're going to select this bottom piece and this bottom piece and hit H. And what this does, hit 5 again, is it hides just those faces so we can work on this interior column. Pick a column, doesn't matter which side, we're going to do it to both. We're going to come in here, right click, edge, click this one and this edge right there, so you have opposite sides. Come up here to edit mesh, hit bridge, and what it's going to do is create faces across the top, as if it was cut. Make sure to hit G again to repeat previous action, and we're just going to follow it along the top. Ooh, hello. Don't hold shift and press G, that always causes issues. Same over here. Alright, we're going to leave these two empty for a second. Come up here to Mesh Tools, get Insert Edge Loop again, get about center, and throw in an edge loop. We're going to connect this edge to this top edge here. Hit Q to get select mode, right click and hold the edge, select all of these edges, come up here to Mesh, come down to Fill Hole, and we're going to fill up that space. And do it on the opposing side as well, and G. Now what I'm doing here is I'm making sure that I have a cut space for this beam to rest in. You can spruce it up a bit more by adding more faces, but I think more simplified makes your life a whole lot easier. Now we're going to come over here and do the same things, same thing we did here on this column. Now while I'm doing these corrections, I wanted to express something incredibly important. You'll notice that all of my faces have 4 edges, and only 4 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4. We call this a polygon, or a face. And I've got this counter up here. So tries, verts, faces, 443, blah, 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 edges. Okay? The goal for this is in the art industry and the film industry, it is customary and considered a good practice to only model using quads or polys, where only 4-sided faces are used. 3-sided faces, like we had on top before we started to make this fix, those are fine to use, but most people tend to avoid them, which is why we put in that extra line across the top, so this isn't just 3 sides. We create a 4th side by putting that line through the top. And I'll explain how. Right click, vertex. I grab this vertex. See how this is a flat line? It looks like three edges. 1, 2, 3. Well, if I take this vertex and pull it out, it's now 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a vertex on a line determines how many lines, or the line break, on each edge. So this is, through a technicality, this is a 4-sided face. And that's a good thing. We want that. All 4 sides makes things excellent. And then G. Okay. So once you guys have that taken care of, we're going to move on. I'm going to give a quick pause so that you guys can catch up if I'm moving too fast. Alrighty. If you have any questions about how I'm doing this, or if I'm going too fast, please leave a comment in the below the video, and I'll make sure to respond to them, to take your advice and your thoughts into my videos to make this a better experience for you. Okay, so now that we have those nice and situated, so they look like tops of posts or columns that have been outfitted, on your keyboard you can go ahead and deselect all of this. Object mode, click out of it. On your keyboard, hit Control, Hold, not hit, hold Control, Alt, and H. And what that will do is it will bring those faces back into place so that we keep a nice, good look. Now if we come in close, you can tell we've got this nice little holding space. Now if you want to, you can always come in here, select both sides of this area, and you can drag it down if you wanted to. Give it a little bit of spacing. That's if you want to. It's totally fine. It's up to you. I like to keep things nice and tight, very crisp, but that's just me. That's own personal choice. Not really anything you need to worry about, but it's there. Alright, so now we're going to tackle this top. This looks kind of angular. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to kind of curve these out a little. And it's the same process on both of these, so don't worry about it too much. We're going to double click on any of these lines. Come up here to this cube. This is called a bevel. And hit select. Just click on it. Click and hold on the word segments and put it up to 2. Then take fraction and bring it down a little. What this does is it makes a smoother incline across this. So we'll do it again with the top one. Bevel. Segments is 2. Decrease. We're going to do just that. And I'm going to do these on all of them. Left click and hold on segments. Get to. Decrease fraction. Actually, that one's okay to keep the same. Bevel. Increase to 2. And I'm going to keep that the same too. Alright. Now what happens is instead of it looking like just 3 basic angles, you get this nice decline in degrees to give it a nice bend right there. Now let's go over here and do it the same. Right click and hold, edge, double click the edge. You can even hit 4 to double check that everything is selected. Mine is down there, so you're good. 5. Bevel, 2 fragments. I'm going to decrease it ever so slightly. Right about there. Do the same thing here. Bevel, 2 fragments. Keep that one the same. Bevel, 2 fragments, decrease it. Now you might be thinking, what do I decrease it to exactly? It doesn't matter. It's really up to you. I'm just doing it by how I think it looks good. I think that's a nice gentle curve, and I think it looks beautiful, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Okay, cool. Now that we have this done, a little trade secret here. This current preview, my apologies, this current preview is called hard preview or hard shading. What that means is that each one of these lines is a sharp edge, sharp edge, sharp edge, sharp edge, as opposed to, say, this curve here or this gentle curve here. When modeling for film or video games, most people, most studios, require that all models be presented in soft preview. Now in Maya, you can change between soft preview by pressing the number 1 for hard preview and the number 3 for soft preview. In Blender, you right click and there's, I think it's hard shader and smooth shader, I think. I don't know what it is in 3ds Max off the top of my head, but I can find out if anyone's interested. So with Maya, if we hit the number 3, it's going to get this kind of wonky feel. But as you can tell, the bottom smoothed out to a nice curve. And that's okay. That's what we want. We want this curve. Now, we don't want this. This looks like a sci-fi Torii Gate, and it looks horrendous. So if we... yeah. Ooh. No. Not something we want to keep hold of. So we're going to want to adjust this to get it a little bit better. So we're going to hit 1 again. And the way that we adjust this... I want to go back. Ugh. Freaky. The way that we adjust this is we put in edge loops, or you can bevel an edge. I normally tend to avoid a bevel just because it can get difficult to control it all. So I like to use our trusty insert edge loop. So down here at the bottom, if we hit 3 again, see how it kind of curves under this little curve here? I don't want that. I want that to be flat. So I'm going to hit 1 again. I'm going to click on the object, make sure it's selected, right click and hold, edge. I'm going to come up here to Mesh Tools, insert edge loop, and I'm going to insert an edge loop just like that, just barely over the bottom. What this does when I hit 3 is it flattens out that base. And I'll show you what it does by staying in smooth shader mode. I'm going to do it again, and click here. Now, if I release, bam! See how it just, instead of this high curve here, if I bring it low, it puts it flat. It gives it a nice straight or solid edge. So if we come up here to this guy, we'll tackle the right hand side, hit 1 again. Oop. And we're going to put 1 just under this beam, right about there, and just over the beam, right about there. Now hit 3 again. Oh, look at that, so smooth. It compresses it, it pushes it together and holds it together and holds it in place. Now we're going to do this for all of our edges that intersect with something. Now not a whole lot, I'm just going to focus on these columns and the center beam, and I'll get to these in another video. So we're going to come up here, make sure that we put 1 right here, because we need it, and then at the top of this one. And remember, because this is cut off, this line doesn't come across to here. So we got to make sure we put 1 on this side as well, or else it's going to look kind of weird and wonky. Now you'll notice that this has this nice weird curve here. We don't want that. So hit 1 again and put 1 just there. Hit 3, and now we have a nice straight line. Now you will put in another, it will put in a line all the way down. That is okay. That is not a problem. No harm, no foul. Though, that is a problem because that's now 5-sided. So I will address that in the next video, and it's because we have 3-sided faces down here. You see what I did? I put in an edge loop, which normally, if these had been 4-sided, would have carried along and up the and followed up the other side. But because it's 3, it's disrupted my modeling, and it's a little rough. So I will come back to this in the next video. But let's continue with this for now. Let's put in another one. Let's put it right there. Hold that column in place. Hold that column in place. Put 1 on the edge here, so we're fine. Put 1 there. And put 1 down here at the bottom. So that way we get something like this. There we go. See how it's looking nice? In smooth view, it looks more like a post with like a nice cleaned up edge, rather than being all wonky and weird like what's over here. Alright, let's continue. So we did all of that on this side. Oh, did we do that one? Yep, there's 1 there. That's good. Good. We're going to continue, and we're going to put one here, and put one here, put one across the bottom, and across the top, and put one there, and put one there. Hit 3 to check. Nice and smooth. Oh, it looks like we get a weird bend there as opposed to a straight line. Don't worry, we'll deal with that later. Let's move on down to here, and we'll repeat the process. So we need one on the top, one at the bottom. Zoom in close. Get that one. Get that one. Now remember, we're not doing across here yet because it's going to break up our flow down here. So we're ignoring those for now. We'll do those in the next video. Make sure we have a line here, and a line here, and a line at the edge. Okay, that should be everything. Let's back it up and check it out. Hit 3, and then right click object. Oh, you see this weird bend here? How it doesn't have it here? We put in an edge loop right here, but forgot to do it here. So I'll put one in on this side, and then that will be it for this video. Make sure I hit 3. Oh, 1. And we'll put one in right there at the bottom. Great. Right click, 3. There we go. We've cleaned it up just a little bit more and make it nice and crisp. Added a bit of detail here and curved these edges. Alright, that will finish it up for this video. For the next video, we'll tackle the top. And then after that, we'll tackle the last remaining edge loops for this, and we'll fix these triangle pieces here. Okay, that will be the end of this video. Thank you all for joining. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more 3D modeling for beginners. I hope I can help you guys get into the industry of your choice or learn this new amazing hobby. Hope you enjoy your wonderful day.